BetBlitz.
Hello everyone, this is Mike with BetBlitz. Welcome back to your source for daily sports picks. Today is a new day and we're looking to set you up with some of the best picks on both PrizePicks as well as Underdog. Now last video we did have a like goal for the video and you guys fell a little bit short of it. However, our team was so impressed by all of the feedback we received as well as the positive support that we decided we were going to drop a bonus pick for you guys today in this video anyways. So stay tuned to the end of this video for that extra bonus pick. Also, if you'd like a bonus pick in our next video, we are challenging you to get this video to above 250 likes, and if this video does get above that, we will be dropping a bonus pick in our next video as well. If you're new to the channel, take a moment to subscribe and turn on your post notifications so that you can have early access to our picks as soon as we post and before the lines get bumped. Also, at the end of the video, let us know which of these picks you will be taking as well as the ones you won't, or any other lines that you think have a great chance of hitting. Alright, let's get right into some of the best picks for today. So for our first pick, we'll be headed over to the points plus assists tab, and we'll be selecting Luka Doncic for more than 38.5 points plus assists. Taking a quick look here on Outlier, this pick may come as a bit of a surprise to some of you, as Luka Doncic has actually only cleared this line in 4 of his last 10 games. However, zooming in a little closer to this series, we see that Luka Doncic has actually exceeded this line in 3 of his last 5 games, including 2 of the games played in Minnesota in this series, and again, this game will be played in Minnesota. Now, Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks will be facing off against a Minnesota Timberwolves defense that during the regular season was very good defensively, ranked top 3 in both points and assists allowed to their opponents, not giving up very many points or assists. However, when it came to defending against opponent point guards, Minnesota was not ranked very well as they were overall, giving up a lot more assists on average as well as nearly 23 points to the position. And if you watch Luka Doncic during these playoffs, even with an injury early on in this playoff run, he's very much capable of clearing most of this line, if not all of them, on points alone. Here are the numbers for the shooting guard for those of you who want to see that as well. But overall, Luka Doncic should have plenty of opportunity to reach this line. Taking a quick look here at his minutes, we see that Luka Doncic is playing very many minutes over his last 10 games, averaging near 41.5 minutes per game. Going over the 40-minute total in each of the 4 playoff games versus Minnesota played so far. But overall, Luka Doncic should have plenty of opportunity and time to reach this line. Now, on the regular season, Luka Doncic was an incredible scorer as well as playmaker for the Dallas Mavericks, averaging near 34 points per game as well as above 9 assists, near 10 assists per game. During these playoffs overall, he has taken a step back in both scoring and his playmaking, but only slightly, still averaging near 30 points per game as well as above 9 assists. But we also want to point out to you that in 6 games versus Minnesota this season, Luka Doncic has had an average of over 33 points as well as 9.5 assists. And after the Mavericks' close late game loss after the game, Luka was talking and taking a lot of blame for the loss despite having a triple-double, so we expect Luka to also come out very aggressive for this game. So for all these reasons, again, we'll be taking Luka Doncic for more than 38.5 points plus assists. For our next pick, we'll actually be staying in the points plus assists tab, and we'll be selecting Naz Reid for more than 11.5 points plus assists. Now, taking a look here on Outlier, and by the way, if you'd like to try Outlier yourself, use our link in the description below for a free 7-day trial. This pick may come as a bit of a surprise to you, as Naz Reid has actually only exceeded this line in 5 of his last 10 games. However, zooming in on his last 5 games and closer into this series, we see that Naz Reid has actually exceeded this line in 4 of his last 5 games, including 3 of the 4 last matchups versus the Mavericks. In fact, last game was the only time he fell under this line in this series. Now, during these playoffs, the Dallas Mavericks have been a great defensive team. However, during the regular season, they weren't ranked as well when it came to defending against scoring and playmaking of their opponents. However, when it came to defending against opponent centers, they still were giving up over 18 points as well as near 3.5 assists to the position. Here are the power forward numbers for those of you who want to see that as well. But overall, Naz Reid should have plenty of opportunity to reach this line. Taking a quick look here at his minutes, we see that Naz Reid is getting a solid dose of minutes over his last 10 games, averaging near 24 minutes per game. We normally don't like taking bench players in the playoffs. However, Naz Reid has been a very consistent player off the bench for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And again, he should also have plenty of time to reach this line as well. On the regular season, Naz Reid was a solid contributor to the Minnesota Timberwolves offense, averaging 13.5 points. Not so much of a playmaker, averaging just shy of 1.5 assists per game. During these playoffs, he has taken a step back in his scoring, dropping to 11.5 points over 15 playoff games. His playmaking has remained pretty constant at about 1 assist. However, we want to point out that in his last 8 games versus Dallas, Naz Reid has had a scoring average above 15 points as well as 1.5 assists. Again, he's not much of a playmaker. Again, we're really just expecting him to clear this line on points alone. So for all these reasons, again, we'll be taking Naz Reid for more than 11.5 points plus assists. Now, we wanted to share a couple of plays with you from Underdog Fantasy where we have been having some incredible success. And these plays are Luka Doncic for higher than 0.5 double doubles, as well as Karl Anthony Towns for lower than 0.5 double doubles. Now, if you enjoy making picks on the traditional PRA stats, but also want access to making picks on things like double doubles as well as triple doubles, check out Underdog Fantasy because right now, when you use code BETBLITZ, you'll receive a free pick as well as up to $250 in bonus cash after sign up. And again, we've been having a ton of success with Underdog Fantasy lately, so you really want to go give them a look. Now, for our third pick, we'll actually be in the rebounds plus assists tab, and we'll be taking Kyrie Irving for more than 8 rebounds plus assists. Taking a quick look here on Outlier. Again, if you'd like to try them out yourself, use our link in the description below. This pick may come as a bit of a surprise to some of you, as Kyrie Irving has actually only exceeded this line in 5 of his last 10 games. Zooming in series, we see that Kyrie Irving has actually only exceeded this line in 2 of the last 4 games versus Minnesota. Again, these games were on the road where this game will be played. And if you watched the last game, you know that Kyrie did have pretty much of a poor performance for his standards. So you can expect him to come out aggressive and resemble his performance in the first 2 games. Now, Kyrie Irving will be facing off against a Minnesota Timberwolves defense that was ranked top 5 in both rebounds and assists defense to their opponents during the regular season. They are a very good defensive team. However, when it came to defending against opponents' shooting guards, the Timberwolves weren't as good, giving up over 8 rebounds as well as a solid 5.5 assists to their opponent's shooting guards. Here is Minnesota's defensive numbers for the point guard position, for those of you who want to see that as well. But overall, Kyrie Irving should have plenty of opportunity to reach this line. Taking a quick look here at his minutes, we see that Kyrie Irving is getting a healthy dose of minutes over his last 10 games, averaging over 40 minutes per game. During this series, he's passed the 40-minute mark in 3 of the last 4 games. In the other one, he did have 39 minutes, so he should also have plenty of time to reach this line as well. On the regular season, Kyrie Irving was a great rebounder for his position, averaging 5 rebounds, as well as a solid playmaker, averaging above 5 assists. During these playoffs, he has taken a step back in his rebounding, dropping to an average of 4 rebounds. His playmaking has remained pretty constant, taking a slight jump to over 5 assists. We also do want to point out that in 4 games versus Minnesota Timberwolves this season, Kyrie Irving does have an average of 5 rebounds and near 5 assists. So for all these reasons, again, we'll be taking Kyrie Irving for more than 8 rebounds plus assists. All right, these are our picks for today. And remember to stay tuned to the end of the video for our extra bonus pick. And also, after we finish reviewing our picks, let us know down in the comment section which of these picks you will be taking, as well as the ones you won't, or any other lines that you think have a great chance of hitting. So for our picks, we took Luka Doncic for more than 38.5 points plus assists. We took Naz Reid for more than 11.5 points plus assists. And finally, we took Kyrie Irving for more than 8 rebounds plus assists. Now, we're not saying to make a huge parlay out of all these picks, but individually, these picks could be some useful additions to the overall entries that you have in mind. And if you like our picks and like access to even more picks, click the link in our description below to join our Discord, where we drop more picks every single day. All right, now for our bonus pick, and we'll be headed over to the rebounds plus assist tab, where we'll be selecting Karl Anthony Towns for less than 10.5 rebounds plus assists. Taking a look here on Outlier, this line may come as a bit of a surprise to some of you, as Karl Anthony Towns has actually only fallen below this line in 5 of his last 10 games. Zooming in a little closer to this series, we see that Karl Anthony Towns has actually failed to exceed this line in 3 of his last 5 games, and in 3 of the last 4 games he's played versus the Mavericks in these playoff series. Here are Dallas's defensive numbers against centers, rebounding, and assists. During the regular season, again, during these playoffs, they have been a much improved defensive team. And we also want to point out to you that Derek Lively is expected, or is at least trending in the right direction, to make a big return in this game for the Dallas Mavericks. He'll provide a lot of needed rebounding defensively for the Mavericks, which will also limit rebound chances for Anthony Towns as well. Now, taking a quick look here at his minutes, we see that Karl Anthony Towns is playing solid dose of minutes, not crazy minutes for a starter, but over 34 minutes over his last 10 games. However, his minutes haven't really translated to an excess in rebounds and assists. For Anthony Towns, he's mostly been a perimeter player for them, taking a lot of threes and not facilitating or rebounding as much as you expect from a center. Now, on the regular season, Anthony Towns was a solid rebounder and a decent assist or playmaker for his position for the Minnesota Timberwolves, averaging above 8 rebounds and a solid 3 assists. During these playoffs, his averages are a bit deceiving, as he has seen an increase in his rebounding total, closer to about 9 rebounds per game during these playoffs. His assist average has remained pretty constant, dropping slightly to under 3 assists per game. However, again, during 3 of the last 4 matchups versus the Dallas Mavericks, Anthony Towns has failed to exceed his line and has had an average of around 7.5 rebounds per game. So for all these reasons, for our bonus pick, we will be taking Karl Anthony Towns for less than 10.5 rebounds plus assists. Now, if you would like a bonus pick in our next video, we are again challenging you to get this video to above 250 likes. And if we do that, we will be dropping a bonus pick in our next video as well. If you're new to the channel, take a moment to subscribe and turn on your post notifications so that you can have early access to our picks as soon as we post and before the lines get bumped. Also, let us know down in the comment section which of these picks you will be taking, as well as the ones you won't, or any other lines that you think have a great chance of hitting. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.